Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of my career mode series. I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little weird. I have a huge sore in the side of my mouth, and it makes it really hard for me to open my mouth and speak. But I thought I'd bring another episode of career mode to you guys today. And this is the next to last episode in the season. And so next episode will probably be a 20 or 30 minute end of season special. So I hope you guys are excited about that. But next up, we have a game against Sunderland. And if you remember at the end of last episode, we had a couple of tough results that we are hoping to turn around here and jumpstart our form once again. And Sunderland are just the team to do it. But the first half saw Sunderland in the ascendancy, and their first chance comes from this cross. Stefan Sessegnon unable to nod that into the back of the net, and we are still level. Sunderland would go on the attack again, and Colback feeds this to Gardner, who has a long-range shot easily held by Areola, and we go into halftime even at 0-0. And in the dressing room, I told the boys to come out with an attacking spirit, and Jesse Rodriguez does just that, getting our goal in the 53rd minute. But Sunderland were not willing to give up, and they put Stefan Sessegnon through on goal, and somehow his awful shot turns into a penalty. And when I looked back at the replay, he drags his shot wide and falls over in the box, somehow getting a penalty, and he buries that one into the back of the net, and we are level in the 57th minute. But Leandro has something to say about that, leaving the entire back line and buries that one, making our chances count in the 83rd minute, and we were ahead. But of course, this team was not happy until they had made an absolutely catastrophic mistake, leading to a draw, and we do just that. And in the 88th minute, Connor Wickham gets their equalizing goal, and we end this game all level at 2-2, dropping 2 points, which is absolutely unacceptable. So in this next game against Manchester City, the FA Cup Semifinal, we had to redeem ourselves. We had to win this game, and we had to cut down on the mistakes to make sure that our goals actually meant something at the end of the game. But this is an FA Cup semifinal, and this is a very tough team, so we know they're going to fight just as hard as we are. But Grimaldo has our first chance of the game, but that is blocked off of the line by Joe Hart. But we stayed on the attack, and Jesse Rodriguez almost gets a goal, but puts that narrowly over the crossbar. We would get yet another sniff at goal, but this time it would be Tom Roberts who would leave the chance wanting. Then it was Manchester City's chance to have their say in this game, and of course it would be former Swans Scott Sinclair who would get their first goal of the game in the 22nd minute. Micah Richards would then feed Sinclair, and he would eat it up for his second goal of the game, but Manchester City were not done before halftime. Wesley Sneijder wriggles away from Juan Jesus, and then Alexander Pato would meet that cross with a deft flick of his neck, and they would get their third goal, their second in a minute. And we go into halftime behind 3-0, and it was not looking good. And it would get even worse when Vincent Kompany would snatch their fourth goal after some horrid defending from a corner. But City would not let up. James Milner has his initial shot blocked, but a fortunate bounce would have it find his feet yet again, and he gets his goal in the 73rd minute. And even though we prayed that the humiliation might end, it would not stop. And this time, Alexander Pato pounces on that rebound and gets their sixth goal of the game. And luckily, the game ends there after that absolute debacle, and we are knocked out of the FA Cup at the semi-final round. And after that game, I was absolutely furious with my team. And so going into this next game against QPR, I knew something had to be done, and that was stripping Juan Jesus of the captain's armband. After that performance, he was not worthy to wear that band around his arm, so I gave it to Jesse Rodriguez, the man for the hour, the person that has bailed us out of so many tough spots. He deserves the armband much more than the horrid defending of Juan Jesus. It was my hope that that would be enough to jar them out of this funk they found themselves in, but we were still conceding chances to teams like QPR, and that was just not good enough. Maybe he had his mind on not being captain anymore, but Juan Jesus has an absolutely horrible tackle to concede a penalty, but Alphonse Areola was up to the challenge, and he keeps that shot out of the back of the net to keep us level going into halftime. In the dressing room, I told the boys that we need to be potent up top, taking advantage of all of our chances, but we also need to be solid at the back, not letting in anything, and they were listening to my advice. Judging by the performance that I saw in the second half, Tony Vilhena would cross the ball into Kyle Bartley, and Bartley would head that narrowly over the crossbar, but then Captain Fantastic Jesse Rodriguez would have an absolute thunderbolt of a shot in the 76th minute, and that goal was all we needed for all 3 points against this QPR team. A great rebound from the boys after that absolute drubbing by Manchester City, and that is more of what I want to see. And after the game, we get a youth squad monthly report, and we need to see how our young boys are doing. Curtis Weston is looking quite promising with a 78 to 94 potential. He could be pretty close to breaking into the first team. Guillaume Palamat is another player that may be seeing action at the Liberty Stadium sooner rather than later. He could fit into that double pivot that we've been using all this season in that 4-2-3-1 formation. But we need to focus in the here and now because this next game against Chelsea is extremely important for our top 5 ambitions. Currently, they are sitting in first place, and I believe we are sitting in 7th. So if we have any hope to claw our way back into that number 5 spot, we need all 3 points at the Liberty Stadium. But they have more than enough quality to do away with our team with Mario Gomez, Hazard, and Mata in their lineup. And that quality almost shines through in the 4th minute, Juan Mata being the catalyst for this chance, but Mario Gomez is unable to curl that into the upper 90. But Chelsea would be ruining that missed chance after Swansea kicks it into high gear, and after some confusion in the box, Leandro puts that into the bottom corner for our first goal of the game, and we would go into halftime feeling pretty good about our chances of a win against this Chelsea team. But we couldn't rest on our laurels going into the second half, and we knew that, so we went balls to the wall attack, and Leandro gets his second goal in the 48th minute. Chelsea knew that it was now or never to get back into this game, and Oscar would just square this to Victor Moses, and Moses would roll that into the back of the net, and just like that, they were back in this game. Jesse Rodriguez would have something to say about that, and he puts that into the upper 90 in the 81st minute, and we were once again in control. It would then be the substitute Mouni Ayin's turn to get his goal, and he would do just that in the 86th minute, and he puts this game to bed with our 4th goal. It was then up to Chelsea to rescue some dignity from this game, and somehow this ends up into the back of the net, Mario Gomez being credited with the goal in the 88th minute, and that is how this game would end, Swansea coming out on top 4-2, which is a great result not only for our confidence but also for our top 5 ambitions, and just like that we are back into this race. And against Newcastle United, anything less than 3 points was absolutely unacceptable because at this point of the season, every single point matters. It's never easy being the understudy to the great J-Rod, but Wayne Routledge shows exactly why he is the man for the job, and in the 15th minute, number 15 gets his first goal of the game. But he was not done there. He cuts inside, shrugs off a defender, and puts that one into the bottom corner, and in the 34th minute, he makes it 2. It would be the ever-present Wayne Routledge to make this next chance happen. He lays this ball off to Jerome Lumu, and Lumu rockets this one in off of the post for our 3rd goal in the 44th minute, and we go into halftime ahead against Newcastle United 3-0. The restart did not bring any respite for Newcastle, and Kimi Augustine, looking like he was going to go down for a penalty, just slides and pops that one into the back of the net, and 4-0 is how this game would end. An absolutely virtuoso performance from every member of the squad, and 9.8 match rating for Wayne Routledge, and every bit of it is deserved. Alright guys, this is where this episode will end. I hope you enjoyed it, and next episode, remember, is that 30-minute or 20-minute end of the season special, so I hope you're looking forward to that. In the 3rd season, I'm playing through it now. I mean, it's probably the best season of career mode that I have ever played. Just crazy things happen. We get some really awesome players, so I hope you are excited for the next season of this series. Alright guys, a like or a subscription is always appreciated, and I will see you next episode. Alright, have a good day. Bye.